You always knew the words to calm.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, Mr.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Why do you feel
I was...
Why? Beauty.
Says Mr. Pritt.
Where? No.
You...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you
I
tonight?
need blood, Doctor.
And
I don't need to...
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Please.
I can...
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
What is the
situation?
Who
Since...
has... Do you...
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise?
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
How did...
I had...
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and home.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the...
Why?
That's a very strange...
How do you... You're in good...
Thank you.
Have you made friends?
Not really. But
You never...
you're preaching.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
But the suffering continues.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening.
Soldier,
I'm fine.
how close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all,
I wish I could be sick again.
while I'm busted on the outside.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars.
Where were you? No.
You...
Why did...
I,
Tell me.
I went with...
Did you...
No.
What?
Come on.
Beauty is not...
Says...
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Damn.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How... Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor. So many deaths. And what of my own life?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
Why do you...
I was...
What? Beauty.
Says...
What your last thoughts would be, sir.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the suffering continues.
It's here again.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
I'm a dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Do you need...
I have just...
Then
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory.
he was a...
How do scowls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire.
We'll see each other again.
You back home, idiot! I'll take it! I'll take his head! What's it? It's a killer! It's one of them! Watch yourselves!
Please, sir. I need help bad. I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight.
I'm Dr. Jonathan.
Oswald and myself.
How long? Don't be ashamed. What can you tell me?
I'm We were... What? It's not... What you went...
I have all the information.
Thank you. Have you found Oswald?
Not yet.
All right.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything...
Thank you.
I cannot enter.
Have you found Oswald?
Not yet.
All right.
I have...
Thank you.
It's locked. I cannot enter.
Needs it.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
The daily